Time to start adding a little bit more artillery to my artillery units. So what I do want to do is say that these guys have a priority, seeing as they are in battlefield situations. Hold your attacks, get some recruits back. It's like this country was made for you, Mordred. They are pretty similar to how I would like to play these games. Humongous focus on building up their industry. Very much an underdog player at the start. Rife with uprisings and rebellions early on. But with a very, very open approach to business. So yeah, basically. Anything they're lacking is a navy. But like I said, we actually have more naval bases than any of our neighbours. 0, 1. We have 4. 1. So we have a little bit of naval potential, although at the moment I'm sinking it all into convoy production. Simply because we start with 0. And how can you do trade if you have no convoys? It's not possible. Unless you go overland, but shh. Big fan of your videos on YouTube, just found your Twitch. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Big Leicester lad. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Twitch. Welcome to this live. Our finest hour, British politician and former Lord of the Admiralty Winston Churchill has published a new book, part of an emerging genre known as alternate history and concerning the Great War. I'm amazed that the Canadians are actually holding out here. We'll see if they can stay holding out there if they do actually get pushed back. But that's going to be a massive blow against France because all the Union of Britain forces will probably be returning home to deal with that. We're actually building these pretty quickly now, which is good. Because we definitely just need extra boots on the ground. You abandoned that. I'm actually okay with this. Doesn't provide any strategic benefit. And it's actually just an extra province that we'd have to hold. So I'm going to do this. Yes, that does mean that you two need to move. I'm going to give up this province as well. Just narrowing the front line. The less of a front line we have, the easier time we have. There's a decision somewhere that lets you go toward Japan if you have 75% or more of their navy. Interesting. Can I show you the losses so far in the German-French war? I'm curious. Yeah, absolutely. I must admit I was also fairly curious about this. Second Weltkrieg. The German side plus Entente has lost 2.3 million. The Internationale have lost 2 million. So it's actually relatively equal. Coming to France has lost 1 million. Italy's lost 260,000. Britain's lost 600,000. Germany has lost 1.4 million. I mean, this is all acceptable losses. And the French Republic has lost 400,000. That's bad for them. The French Republic is the one nation that cannot maintain manpower losses. Canada's only lost 80,000. Which for them is fine. I can now attack the other Chinese nations. I don't want to attack the other Chinese nations. My army is tiny compared to them. We no longer get the effects of the railroad ownership payments. That was the bad one, wasn't it? Yes, I'm getting my construction back again, which is nice. Although I would like to invest in fortifying the Anhui border forts. There we are. Vientiane government declared war on Qing. That means they're unlikely to attack me. So this is the big fight for China, basically. The Fifth Zhili-Fentian War. Tensions in China have remained high since 1927, when the German intervention brought the 20-year conflict between the various factions to a temporary standstill. Over the last decade, however, both the Fentian government in Manchuria and the Zhili in Beijing have consolidated and built up their forces. The stage is set for the most dramatic confrontation in 10 years. Whichever side emerges victorious, however, will not be alone. Japan and Germany still loom large over the region, as the land of the rising sun greedily eyes Germany's possessions in the Pacific, and the victor of this war will no doubt have a part to play in the conflict as well. The battle begins.
何指示？注意！
Still in danger zone.
准备移动。
Alright, join in the attacks again. You know what? Stop attacking. Your current formation is stupid. Let's put you here and tell you to cut into there. Brocantic, thank you very much for the bits. Here's my share of the investments. Thank you very much for that. And Callum, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Solicit legations investments done. Can't get this until we've pressured the Yongshi Kaifa. Oh, it's there. So let's tackle local corruption. Local corruption is a serious issue. It harms our ability to extract taxes from local levels of government. It makes an unnecessary toll on the local farmers and it fills the pockets of those who do not need it. For this reason, we should begin dealing with this issue. The inspectors we will use for this allow us greater control over the local governments. Do it. How bloody many Americans are stuck in this pocket? And how did they get here? Saudi Arabia has capitulated and gone into exile. Yep, Saudi is not looking too hot. The Green Gang develop in Nanjing. The Green Gang has always remained an organization primarily based in Shanghai. Though they have a few dealings with the other locations, Shanghai is the main hub of the gang. However, with the recent agreements made between Du Zhusheng and Qi Zhizhuan, the Green Gang has begun to develop in Nanjing. Though the Nanjing police would normally step in to try and curb illegal gang growth, it seems that the Nanjing Police Commissioner has stopped this from occurring, stating the police should focus on beating enemies of the state. Many assume that he was being paid off by the Green Gang. However, the truth of the matter is the Green Gang themselves never bribed this police commissioner. Perhaps the fact that Chi recently had the police commissioner replaced with his personal choice might have some relevance. Welcome to Nanjing! Anti-Chi activist groups grows in popularity in Nanjing. I'm sure it'll be fine. Aren't they cut off? How are they still so strong? That's what I am wondering. Boy of Amdo ordained 14th Dalai Lama. Recently does news come out of Tibet, especially positive news. The papers are reporting that a child of less than 2 has been found by the Tibetan Ganden Phodrang and ordained their next Dalai Lama. This 14th Dalai Lama comes after a tumultuous regency following the previous Lama's death that saw a number of high-ranking Tibetan officials expelled. The journey the members of the Ganden Phodrang undertook, including lurid details, the danger, the other children in the garden sought out only to find them dead or missing, makes for a thrilling story. It is the hope of the Tibetan people, including many Tibetans currently living in exile, that the new Dalai Lama will grow up to be the next Kyabyon, or saviour. It is a cycle, not a change. When did I last play the American Civil War in this? There are lots of rebellions you can now trigger. Not too long ago. I just don't remember them being this big. It's usually like 4 or 5 units, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minimum. Yeah, how the hell are they still supplied? And they clearly are. Mexico? Is in the Second World War, but is not in the American Civil War. Although if the CSA loses this, and either the AUS, the USA, or the PSA takes over, Mexico is going to be in an interesting position. You're low on manpower, you're under 1 million. You must be new here. Manpower does not mean anything to me. It's an irrelevant number. Yeah, that's a Mexican. Doesn't explain how they're getting supply though, because I don't think they should be getting it from Mexico. Regimented combat teams, soft attack and organization. Yes, please. Failing to attack again. Just stay and defend, as long as we ourselves don't get cut off. The Russian Republic took 5 states, Turkestan Khanate took 3, Alash Order have been annexed. Oh, Russia was at war with them as well. Bloody hell. Wrangle! How are you still alive? All you have left is Petrograd. I want to see the war score in that one. So the Soviet war is basically over. Petrograd's apparently worth 9%. Wow. And then the other Russian war... is where? That's the Spanish Civil War. Mongolian Jibai. Shandong Shangzi. That one? Nope. East Asia, Yunnan? Nope. Oh, I forgot them. Wait, who's Brazil at war with? I thought they were in the Entente. Nope, they're fighting the Entente. Why are you fighting the Entente? You're supposed to join them, aren't you? Oh no, National Populists. Maybe you don't. Huh. Okay. Anyway, March 1939. 39 is when we get some more construction going because of industry. Yes, I know we can get new guns, but this is more important. Can I help the CNT? I don't think I really want to. I don't know which of these factions I would help. Probably either the Kingdom or the Carlists. Most likely the Kingdom. We're about as anti-socialist as we can possibly be. Being, like, massively pro-capitalism. Petrograd's about as difficult to take as New York. Yeah, I know. No, transport planes have a range of about this airfield to roughly that river. Transport planes have 0 range. They are absolutely garbage. It's actually about there to this river, but nothing in range. They have military access through Mexico. Military access doesn't matter for supply though, does it? No, CNT FAI has access through Mexico, not the USA. Options done. There are so many units here. Alright, let's pressure the Zhongshe Kaifa. What's this? Eternal autocracy. The Zhongshe Kaifa, meaning the Zhongshu and the Zhejiang Zhaibatsu, is a group of powerful bankers who control the major banks and the legations. Using our newly acquired connections, we should attempt to pressure the Zhongshe Kaifa to provide us with loans and resources, like they have done to others in the past. Didn't they bankroll us already? Anti-Qi activists grow in popularity in Nanjing. In Nanjing, tensions are growing once more due to the rise of multiple anti-Qi activist groups. Violence is beginning to erupt once more, with police clashing with anti-Qi protesters. Qi Jizhuan has made no public comment on the rise of violence in Nanjing, though there are rumours he has plans to deal with it properly. can supply through military access, otherwise you wouldn't supply units that were there with military access. True. But yeah, through Socialist Mexico, no, USA doesn't have that. These events might be the downside of me colluding with the Germans so much. Yeah, possibly. But that seems directly influenced by my opening gang dealings as opposed to Germany. This is not anti-Germany, this is anti-corruption. After weeks of deliberation, the Greek government has decided to give the crown to King Georgios II, not Alexandros, who is still alive, but many feel should always have been the proper heir as Alexandros' older brother. And we can modify our government. Is there anything else we need to do first? Oh yes, here are the war goals. I mean, now that Qing is busy... How strong are these guys? Going after the Hunan clique would definitely be the better option. Although Guangxi is just the bigger one. And the longer that we leave Guangxi alone, the more they'll build up. Although that's not necessarily... Oh, no, they want to join the KMT government. No, we don't want to do that. Actually kind of looks like they've... Oh no, this is a different tree. I don't know if they've done like their factory upgrades and stuff. I need decryption. Oh yeah, and we were going to go to free trade, weren't we? Because we are already exporting pretty much everything. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Free trade for even more construction and research bonus. You guys are almost done. And just defending my Qing border with these would be really useful. I'm really happy to see the viewership numbers as large as they have been lately. Yeah, it seems that people on this channel really like Kaiserreich or something. Can't imagine why. But it has been nice. I am glad that the viewership numbers are as healthy as they are at the moment. Weasel Farmer, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Shocking news from the Australasian Confederation as the Australasian Guard, a group of white ring authoritarians who have long criticised the Australasian government for not going far enough in its suppression of syndicalism and who lost their recent electoral bid by a fair margin, have seized control of the government. How unexpected. And Quoll, thank you, or Swall, thank you very much for the follow, and Pluring, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Have I tried Equestria at War? No. Kaiserreich? I enjoy the bit of Viking. I mean, yes. There are a lot of resources in South China, but real resources, quite frankly, are irrelevant because we don't keep any. We extract 18, we export 18. So yes, this would be a way of increasing the amount of money we make from selling, but... Actually, Germany would eventually be buying resources, probably. What we should do, because we do have large trade relations modifiers with Germany, East Asia... Oh no. Germany would just buy from Germany, East Asia. I was thinking we should try and get rubber supplies. Although we just helped the Dutch East Indies keep that, and we're allied to Germany, East Asia, so rubber's not really going to be a possibility. What else is Germany going to be short on? Steel, eventually, maybe. Operativi! Huzzah! Thank you very much for the follow. And Quartz Silver, thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome to the Maudlings. Good to have you. Chrome? We don't produce chrome, and I don't think there is any chrome anywhere near us. Most of the world's chrome supplies come from here. And tungsten comes from here. I think there's also Sonos rubber in Brazil. Cuba, that's the other chrome. And South Africa. There's a little bit in Southeast Asia. But again, they're our buddies. We're not going to go toward them. So there is some steel here, and there's tungsten in the south. But whatever we do, we're going to be importing those resources. So you're still doing your industrial line, and we can see that you've actually done it. Your focus tree is also tiny in comparison. I think we're going to go after Hunan. The other advantage of going after Hunan is that we can then have a much bigger front against Guangxi and then just simply outnumber them. So Hunan's currently got 9 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's more than enough. Also, the terrain here is going to be a bit easier. Okay. Begin drawing up your plans, if you would. Although there are a couple of units that could do with a little bit of training. Anti-Qi activist leaders found dead in Nanjing. 13 high-level members of the anti-Qi groups in Nanjing were found dead today in a warehouse. 5 were shot, 6 were stabbed, and the other 2 were beaten to death with blunt objects. Later on that day, another 2 bodies were found, dumped in the streets in the slums of Nanjing. These other 2 deaths have been identified as more high-level anti-Qi activists. They were also beaten to death, and rope marks on their hands, and the extent of their beating implies they were tortured before death. 8 men were arrested in suspicion of committing the crimes, all members of the Green Gang in Nanjing. However, they only sat in a cell for 5 hours, as Qi quickly informed the Nanjing police commissioner that these prisoners should be released immediately, as they are not connected to the murders at all. Qi himself announced that he would form a team to investigate these deaths. However, progress on this is very unlikely. With these activist deaths, the anti-Qi protests in Nanjing have dispersed, and the city is safe once again. Perfect. It's just good business. They got in the way of the good business. They died. Is there chrome in the Philippines? Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, good to know. I dread to think what's going to happen here when I withdraw. You guys, this is just a death trap. I'm wasting so many resources here. Alright, carry on. Carry on. And we may as well bring Hunan back into the league. Skaven Viking businessman. That's one heck of a lifestyle. We raid, we pillage, and we do the best of business. Absolutely. And this will also mean that I get my super elite East Asian volunteers back again, which will be nice. Although they're not super elite anymore. At least this unit isn't. "16 days. And I timed it perfectly for the return of these 2 masters of warfare. Yes, I will upgrade the artillery, please. Air Force, good point. Oh, Kaiserreich Hind has been developed, so we have an Indian Empire. Alright, let's see. Air Force. Slight problem. We don't have very many air bases, so I think the next focus we do is going to need to start working on some of these, because this gives us a bunch of air bases. And also, we just don't have very many. Well, we can just about reach. Just! See you, Marshall. Been thinking about getting Hearts of Iron 4. What DLC would I reckon would be a good investment? Man the Guns, for sure. Man the Guns is excellent. Probably Together for Victory, because Together for Victory adds a lot of the puppet mechanics, which you've probably seen. Waking the Tiger, I think. I don't know if Waking the Tiger brings in the decisions, or if that was just part of the free patch. I don't remember. But yeah, Man the Guns, absolutely critical, because that gives you all of the naval mechanics, and they're kind of important, with the way that the ships have modules. This is all Man the Guns. And then Together for Victory for the puppets. Death or Dishonor is frankly irrelevant. It adds a couple of vanilla focuses, but doesn't do very much beyond that. Waking the Tiger is the only one I'm not sure about. Decisions were free. Okay, in that case, the only one I would say is a must-buy is Man the Guns. Plus, it's just a really good expansion. And La Resistance, when it comes out, will probably be as well. Decisions are part of the free patch, except for digging resources. Okay. I like how Hunan just hasn't guarded this border at all. Kingdom of Greece has joined the Entente. Who's that going to put them at war with? Nobody there. And that's just another Entente player in the Mediterranean. Who did the two Sicilies join? Nobody yet. I'm surprised that this war is still longer. Well, no I'm not. It's still only 1939. That's the crazy thing. It is still early. Like, really early. One more day. Boom. Let's do a quick save here. Something I probably should have done before the war actually started. Am I in the Reichspakt? Nope. And be aggressive about it.